massage our feet. So we have, so welcome. So mute yourselves if you wish. You can also stay unmuted. I am recording the class so that we can have it on the website, and hopefully you've all been able to watch at least one of these. So doing the stomp and smush, so massaging the longitudinal arch of the foot. A couple passes on each side. Starting to tune in to how your body's feeling, your breathing. I'm breathing a little heavy because I was just screaming at my ballet students. I mean, lovingly correcting my ballet students. Then we're going to do our prehensile foot. So placing the ball underneath the ball of the foot, spreading your toes wide like a fan, and then trying to wrap them around the ball. Spreading the toes wide and wrapping the foot around the ball. 2 more times, spread the toes wide and wrap the toes around the ball. And 1 more time, spread the toes wide and wrap the foot around the ball. And then you put the ball behind the ball of the foot, massaging the latitudinal arch of the side, doing the rainbow side to side. Internal and external rotation of the femur and the foot and the ankle. So it's a synergistic movement here. 2 more times. And then we're going to add in this other variation. So if possible, placing the toe joint on the floor with the toe on the ball. So starting with the big toe. And then if you can, slowly lift the heel. So you're stretching out the toe joint and stretching out the bottom of the toe. And then do just a couple of those. You don't have to lift the heel high. Spread the toe, move the ball to the second toe, and my toe likes to curve around to the corner, so I just straighten it up a little bit, and then repeating. I found this to be incredibly helpful for my great toe arthritis in this foot. And then switch. So you'll have more than 1 toe on the ball at a time, but you're focusing the alignment and the bulk of the stretch on, right now we're on the 3rd toe, then we'll move to the 4th toe, and these last 3 toes kind of get stuck together, so spreading them out as much as possible. And then if you can get the pinky toe, if the pinky toe is long enough, some of us have little pinky toes that hang in the air and they don't really connect, that's fine. Just go with what you're able to do, and then we'll do the whole sequence on the other side. So the stomp and smush, about 3 passes on each angle of the foot, the inner angle, the middle angle, and the outside angle. Thereabouts. Then our prehensile foot, placing the ball underneath the ball of the foot, spreading the toes wide like a fan, keeping them wide and trying to wrap them around the ball. Spread the toes wide and wrap them around the ball. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more time. Good. Then moving the ball behind the ball of the foot, side to side. Latitudinal arch of the foot. Then we'll do our toe stretches. So big toe, joint on the floor, toe on the ball, knees bend and lift the heel up slightly. This can also be done sitting down. If this is too intense, you can do it seated, and you'll just have to hold the ball with the other hand. Then move the ball so it's underneath the second toe. Really helpful for uncurling the bottoms of the toes. Then move to the 3rd toe. You might feel some burning on the sole of the foot underneath the toes. That's fine. It's natural. Just go into the range in which you can tolerate without sending shock waves of pain up through the body. if this doesn't work for you, it's okay. So the seated version, Monica, in case you want to do this one, is just sit and hold the ball, and then you can kind of lift the heel from there, or not. Maybe it's just kind of like living with this and massaging the top of the foot over the ball to coax it into length. Maybe that's what's going to work for you. Yeah. We take our feet for granted for sure. So there are those versions. And so now our feet feel totally awake and alive. And let's do a little bit of glute release, and then we'll do some shoulder release. So pick 4 quadrants, 4 points where you want to focus this release work. I'm going to assume that you've been practicing some of this on your own, particularly the self-massage stuff. Yeah, it's okay if you don't. If you thought about doing it, but then you're like, nah, you're halfway there. If you thought about it, that's a good start. Honestly, that's not just lip service. And then pick another point. Rocking side to side if you want, or just staying still. There's so many little nuggets to explore in the glute tissue. You know, we can't get them all. Let's change sides. So a good place to start is either on the outside of the hip or above the sit bone or close to the sacrum, not on the bone, on the soft tissue. Sometimes it's nice to start at the very top underneath the pelvis, so at the very top part, just so you have a place to start, because that's often the hardest part. It's like, well, I don't know what to do first, so I just won't do anything. We don't have to be precious with this, just do something, and then just kind of go intuitively from there, says the not rolling expert. So, but I think better to do something than not anything. Then, Roxanne, you'll go to the wall and do the shoulder blade, and everyone else, you can stay on the floor. And I bet, Roxanne, this works better with some of the other balls, like the yoga tune-up balls, because the texture is different from a tennis ball. A tennis ball on a wall is a little bit slippery. And so use the hand that's on.
Yeah, I'm using the big.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so on the shoulder that you're massaging, I'm starting at the bottom of the shoulder blade. I have my ball underneath my left shoulder, so my right hand is behind my head to support my head a little bit, and then I'm lengthening my left leg so that it's straight. That's an option for you. And then you can just stay there and breathe, relaxing your left arm in a way that's comfortable. You can play with moving the arm with the palm facing up, reaching up overhead and pulling the elbow down, reaching up and down, because that's working the shoulder blade, so you can feel some crunkling. If that's too intense, you roll away from the ball. Or stop moving your arm, or both, and then move the ball up to in between the shoulder blades, and you can repeat that arm motion, reaching up and down. So with the elbow bending, because it's a little bit easier for the upper traps to do with a bent. Not wrong to do with the straight, but you can play if you want to do straight arms too. Then you'll move the ball up. Oops, I got a foot. I was like, what's this fuzzy thing I'm feeling? I'm feeling Gus. Gus's tail. And then once you get up to your upper traps and it's about to slide off, you might want to play with rolling with your arm in a comfortable position. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Intense. So I'm just using my hand behind, my opposite hand behind my head / neck to give myself a little support so my head doesn't feel like it's falling backwards off of because my back is slightly arched over the ball. And then you can do your chicken wings, palm facing up, reaching your arm back and pulling the elbow down towards your hip. So I'm not side bending, I'm just moving my shoulder blade. Then move the ball. Oh boy. You can extend the right leg long if you're doing the right side. That helps to open up the hip. And then move the ball. Keep breathing, trying to relax the rest of your body. And then now we've got all the way up to the top, inside the shoulder blade. I ran out of space. Oh my, I tell you, putting that, if you've been moving the arm, rest it on the floor, and then you can rotate using your leg and your hand behind your head to roll horizontally a bit over the ball. Nelly. Then come off of the ball. Ball time is over. Roll onto your side, push with your hands. And you'll come up to standing with our roller. Placing the roller below the abdomen on the thighs, hands wide apart. Just roll the shoulders a couple times. Feeling awake and alive. Functional parallel position. You can stay, if your hamstrings are tight, you can have your legs a little bit wider. And Roxanne, a wider leg stance will probably be good for you. Otherwise, we're going to try and shoot for keeping our legs directly underneath the hip sockets. And I'm going to turn out diagonal so that you can see my spinal motions as well. So space for the collarbones to spread wide. We're going to exhale, hinge at the hips, press gently down into the roller, keep our spine nice and straight, and coming up. So hip hinging, sit bones spread wide, thighs come forward, so you have a lot of weight on the balls of the standing feet as you reach your heels backwards. Good. Exhale, bring the abdominal wall in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, keep the collarbones wide, shoulder blades wide. Notice if you shift your weight onto one foot or the other foot. 2 more times. Gentle pressure into the roller. 1 more time. Good. So really focusing on keeping your butt lifted. Keep your chest lifted, Monica. We're doing that. Yeah, there we go. Roxanne, you're gonna do 4 more of these, and Robert, you can choose which option. Monica, now we'll do the rounded one, rounding forward and up. Exhale, nod the head forward, soften the sternum, and keep the arms wide as you roll down and up, just to the waist. Yep, 2 more times. Keeping space in the front of the neck. And up. And Roxanne, you could actually probably do just a really small one of these to stretch that upper part of the back. And up. Good. Bend your elbows, lift your chest up and down. Bend the elbows back, lift the chest up and down. Bend the elbows, pull the roller, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest up, and imagine that the head and the neck are like the stem and the stem of a flower. Your head is the flower. And so the root of the flower is in that mid-back area. So you want to keep the bloom on the stem rather than letting it break off. You're a fresh flower. 1 more time. Great. Then we'll put the roller down. Let's start with the roller on our left side today. So side stretching, yawning, and coming up. Feel so the legs can be apart. They can be wider than your hips. You're going to feel your hips slightly slide away from the roller, and you're scooping the bottom arm down and out, pushing the roller out. Yeah. And coming up. Yes, that was a good adjustment of your head, Monica. Feel those shoulder blades sliding down the back as you reach to the side. Then the top shoulder blade is going to open. You're going to really stretch those top ribs. One more time like this, then we're going to add our knee bend with spiral. Good. So adding our knee bend, making sure the knees are pointing over our toes. Small knee bend, side stretching. Now you'll feel more stretch in the hip. Then you're going to twist your upper body to the roller, keeping your knees pointing straight ahead and your pelvis pointing straight ahead. Circle the arm down and then stand up. If you know that you have a really hard time keeping your pelvis and your legs organized, you can put a yoga block or a ball or a rolled up towel in between your legs so that you can squeeze them. Or you can put one of those resistance bands tied around your legs above the knees. Rotate. Down, around, and up. And we'll do one more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Keep reaching that inside knee forward as you rotate towards your chest towards the roller and swing the arm down and up. Change sides. So, legs can be a distance that's comfortable for you. Side bending. Yes, Roxanne. So Roxanne, this is also a great opportunity to practice that pelvic floor elevation that we talked about previously. So the goal of this is to really fan open these side ribs. After this one, we're going to add on. So good, nice, good, Robert. Really let the head relax, reaching out with the bottom hand. Good. And that's to help keep the top of the shoulder. Side bend with knee bend. Rotating, keeping the inside knee reaching forward. Scoop the arm down, around, and up. Side bend. Bend the knees. Rotate towards the roller. Keeping the inside knee sliding forward. Down, around, and up. 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale to twist. Exhale to sweep the arm down, around, and up. And we'll do one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, sweep the arm down, around, and up. Placing the roller in the front. Legs can stay wide. So the roller's in the center line of your body. I'm going to have my roller tip toward me to start because it'll feel a little bit more secure when I reach forward. So we're going to reach both arms forward. Bend the knees, long spine. Abdominal wall is pulling up and in. Reach the roller forward and spiral your other hand on the opposite diagonal. And then you're going to close and stand up, and we're going to change sides. Change hands. So pull the roller into you. Hinge at the hips, reach both arms forward, then twist. Try to keep the hands equidistant from each other. And then come on up. Inhale. Exhale to reach forward and spiral. Good. Lift your chest, Robert. Look back, bend a little bit. There you go. Inhale here and exhale, come up. So you have to look up and around. Keep your sternum lifting up. Exhale, reach forward. Stick your booty out. Good. Twist and turn and look towards the up hand. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Inhale to change. This is the last sec. Exhale, reaching forward, hinging back. Abdominal walls pulling in. Chest is lifting up. Stay above your arms. Yeah, good. Inhale here. Exhale, come up. One more time. Exhale, reaching forward and around. Inhale in the spiral. And exhale, come on up. Okie dokie. Yeah, that makes a difference for the upper traps. If you lift your upper chest up as you rotate around, you feel like you can, one, get more range and the tops of the shoulders can stay relaxed, versus if you're in a perfectly flat hinge here, you get a little stuck here. So getting a little bit of extension helps that thoracic rotation. Okay. Quad time, Monica. Time to roll out your quads. And everybody, after my run, my thighs are really sore from running uphill. So keeping your abdominal wall engaged. Roxanne, I think this is fine for you to do. So getting on the roller, massaging the quads so that they don't feel so bullied. You can also do one quad at a time, kind of the side diagonal, by bending one knee and turning it out slightly. Oh, this does not feel good today, I have to say. It feels definitely not good. I'm finding a lot of road bumps in my muscles today. The other option for doing single leg is trying to cross, just take one thigh off. Oh, horrible and hideous. Okay, coming onto all fours, keeping the roller in front of the knees. We're going to do this, Roxanne, this is for you, but it's for all of us. So we're going to widen our knees even wider. Before we do our scapular glides or our transverse abdominis work, we're going to do hip circles. So we're going to do hip semicircles. So you're going to come from the center, come forward around to the left and sit back. And then forward and around and to the right. So you're going forward and around and to one side. So that we're semicircling in an arc in the front, and then we'll eventually go all the way around. I just wanted to go this way. And so we're keeping our palms really open, pressing into the knuckles of the hands to keep the pressure out of the wrists. Good. And now we're going to circle 4 times in the same direction all the way around. Keep the sit bones spreading wide. And 2, and 3, and 4. This is really great for the hip sockets. Come forward and reverse. 1, and stirring the femurs in the hip capsule, and 3, and 4. Good. Come center. Bring your legs a little bit together so that they're underneath your pelvis. Bring your hands slightly forward of the shoulder. So the wrist is just in front of the shoulder. Collarbones are wide. Feel you're spreading your mat wide. Insides of the armpits are pointing towards each other to help keep the elbows unlocked. You're going to breathe into your abdominal wall. Let it relax down. And exhale. Keeping your spine and pelvis the same, pull your abdominal wall up and in. So we're just keeping our upper body still. We're just letting our transverse abdominis expand on the inhale and contract 3-dimensionally on the exhale. Roxanne, you could also put a yoga block between your thighs and do the pelvic floor activation and squeezing as you do this. Push into your hands a little bit more and lift your head up, Roxanne. Robert, bring the shoulders away from the ears slightly. Yeah, there you go. Breathe in and out. Good. One more time, breathing in. All the way in, out. Good. So from here, keep your low abdominal wall engaged, just lightly breathing into the sides and the backs of the ribs, letting the chest slide down between the arms. Shoulder blades slide together, and exhale, push through the arms, widen the shoulder blades apart. Inhaling. Shoulder blades slide together. Exhaling, slide the shoulder blades apart, and feel that you're actually rotating your upper arm bones just a little bit as you push. So inhale, shoulder blades slide together. Exhaling, push down into the hands. Externally rotate your upper arms and feel the shoulder blades spread wide apart. 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. And 1 more time. Inhaling and exhaling. come off your hands, let me just explain a little bit about the mechanics. Yeah, rest your hands. So with a slight amount of external rotation of the arms, so if my hands are not on the floor, so it's going to spin my whole arm, but that's going to help to tip the bottom point of the shoulder blade and bring it back in together so that you'll feel a little bit more of that serratus underneath the arm, like a scooping sensation underneath your armpit to help you stabilize and help us prepare for everyone's favorite exercise. How are we doing? Good. So bringing the roller underneath the center of the thighs, coming onto the forearms in a forearm plank. Elbows are slightly in front of the shoulder, top of the arm. Excuse me. Okay. So you really have to keep pulling the abdominal wall up and in. You're pushing with your hands and also trying to stretch your mat wide apart. Then we're going to do our same scapular glides, sliding the shoulder blades together and pushing down, spreading them wide apart. We're going to do 3 more. Shoulder blades slide together and exhale, slide apart. You doing okay with this, Roxanne? I'm assuming so. It looks good from the top of your back, I can see. Good. Good. Nice position of the head. Robert, keep your head lifted as you go down so it's more about the shoulder blades. Yeah, one more time. From here, we'll push into straighten your arms just a little bit. So you don't have to be straight. You have to start to go in that direction and come back down. It's a big challenge for the abdominals in the front. The legs will drop down slightly. You feel your triceps working. You're still pushing. Exhale. Pull the abdominals in and down. One more time. And back down. Walk yourself back till your feet are on the floor. Bend your knees. Hinge. And from here, we're going to add another thing that I started with another client. So come back onto hands and knees. Walk your hands about 4 inches forward. Roxanne, make sure you move your roller. Everyone move your roller, sorry. And Roxanne, you're going to have your knees wide apart. Everyone else, you keep your knees underneath you. So you're going to push into your hands and hinge back. So your arms are restricting you from sitting all the way back on your heels. So if you feel like you can sit all the way down on your heels, you need to come up again and walk your hands forward. So you're actively pushing and externally rotating through the upper arm bones as you reach your sit bones back. So you're getting a nice crease in the hip and a nice stretch along the sides of the back. Pulling your abdominal wall away from your legs and really feeling the ribs breathing widen up to the ceiling. Coming up onto the hands. And we're going to hinge back again like that. Pushing. Keep your head lifted a little bit, Robert. Yeah, so keep your head lifted above your arms. So instead of dropping your head down, you're going to keep the head lifted and keep the notch of your collarbones above your arms if you can. Good. And coming up. One more time here, then we're going to do diagonals. So it'd be very easy to let your mid-back drop down towards the floor. So we're trying to keep our spine nice and neutral and really lift through those bottom ribs in the front. And then you really feel a nice stretch. So from here, walk your hands to the right. I'm going to do mine opposite. So you're diagonally. So my opposite hand is in front of my knee. And then the same hand is slightly closer in on an oblique diagonal. And Roxanne, you're going to want to turn out to a slight, on your right leg, you're going to turn it out so the heels will be together. You'll be in an asymmetrical diamond shape. And then you're going to hinge back to your left, stretching the left side of the back and coming up. So for everyone else, you're in parallel, hinging back as you push yourself away from your hands. You're hinging back into the left and come up. So you should feel the stretch on your left hip. Yeah, that's good, Monica. Good, good, good. Good, Robert. That's so much better with the head. Good. Coming up. Roxanne, that doing okay? Just give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay. Walk to the other side. So again, Roxanne, she's turned out So that's the prenatal modification. For the rest of you, everyone's parallel. So make sure that your hands are far enough away that you can push away from them and not be totally resting on your thighs. And coming up. So we're using lots of energy through the arms as we push, and some abdominal control, and a lot of breathing into the sides and the backs of the ribs, that posterior lateral breathing. 2 more times. Or I think we just did 3, so this is the 3rd time. Good, and coming up. Walk yourself to the center. Walk forward a little bit, hinging straight back, just to even yourselves out side to side. And then you're going to grab your roller, hopefully it's nearby. And then you're going to widen your knees slightly if you're Roxanne, otherwise you're going to be in a comfortable position and rest your head on your roller. And just sit to your heels, if that's available to you. If not, stay up. You can rest your chest on the roller and your head on your hands with your hips more in the air. And then slowly come on up. Hand weight time with our releve sequence. All right. Get your water bottles, Monica. Wouldn't it be funny if your water bottles were empty this whole time? That would be hilarious. You're like, oh, it's so heavy. No water in there. Just kidding. I know you're working hard. So, yeah. And Robert, you're using canned goods? Yeah. Wouldn't it be fun?
2.5 pounds.
Oh, 2.5 pounds. Perfect. That's good. Lightweight is really great for this because we're doing endurance work. So, Roxanne, I just want to be sure that now that you're in the 2nd trimester, you want to be sure that you're not hanging into your hips this way, that you're still lifting up and in. Yeah. So that you're in elongating space in your low back by doing this hug and lift the baby. The sensation is the same for everyone. Feeling the base of the pelvis lifting up and 3-dimensionally hugging your abdominal wall in like squeezing a tube of toothpaste to keep that abdominal control as if we were doing it when we were kneeling. So, legs parallel. Oh, this is our parallel. Here we go. The ram's horns this way. This way. 2. Making sure that you have space for yourself so that, but the elbows will be inwards of the hands slightly. Again, slight external rotation of the upper arm bones will help the arms connect with the shoulder blades a little bit better. So you'll feel less of the upper traps working, hopefully, and more of the below. At our heel raise, push through the toes and down. Up and down. Zip up through the inner thighs. 4. Keep your eyes lifted, Robert. Yep. 6. 2 more times. 7. Up. We're going to add on. We're going to open our arms to a goalpost. Rise up. Open your elbows to the side. Bring them back in and swing the arms down. Up and open and woo, in and down. So this takes abdominal control as you keep the chest lifted and open the elbows. And Robert, stay below your shoulders. So stay a little bit lower, lower, elbows. Yeah, there we go. Open. Yeah. In and up. Woohoo. Open and in and down. Alternating legs. Da dee da da dee da ch ch dee dee da. Chariots of fire. Ch 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 ch. Staying centered between your legs, so rather than shifting your weight from one side to the other, sassily. This is like you're running in a tube, straight up and down. Keep the bottom leg bent and it's swinging behind you. Bottom arm is bent, sorry. And by leg I meant arm. Last set. Woohoo. Last time. Okay, roll the arms. Turn your legs out to Pilates V. Where'd the time go? Serve a tray. Out and in and out. Keep your arms lower. So the arms, yes, and open the chest more, Robert. So you're going to open a little bit wider. And bring your chest up and forward. There you go. That's better. 2 more. 1 more. We're going to keep our elbows here. We're going to do our extra rotation here and down. 2, 3, 4. Getting those calves working. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, rest the arms, roll the shoulders, wide V. So being short, I'm hyperextended. You can see how my knees are sliming or slacking back in towards each other. So a way of managing that without feeling like you're bending your knee and unstable is feeling like you're bringing your heel on the mat towards your midline and the top of the shin away from the midline to activate. And then we're going to bend and open our arms out to the side and come down. And out and up and out and down. Feeling the shoulder blade rotating. So the bottom points of the shoulder blades are pointing downwards. Now they're opening out to the sides and they come down. And up. 2 more times. Feel the weight, let the tops of the shoulders drop down so that let that weight help you relax your upper traps. Okay, we should do 1 more. That was just, oh, great. Walk your feet in. We're gonna do this version, knuckles together, marching. So knee fold and twist towards the leg. And twist. So Roxanne, you're twisting above your waistline at the rib cage. So you might not twist that much. It might just be a little bit, which is fine. Exhaling to twist. Keeping the chest lifted. Good. 1 more time each side. Good. Arms down. Roll the shoulders. So step to the back of your mat. Functional parallel position of the legs. Keep the weights at in line with your standing leg. And you're going to take a big step forward. Good. And we're pitching our torso forward. From here, we're going to push with the back toes and lower the heel down. Push, the heel won't touch. So we're working through the toe joints. We're working the calf again. And keeping the spine nice and long. Torpedo. Good. 1 more time. Stay with the heel lifted. Lift the arms slightly, bend the elbows and straighten triceps. 2, 3, 4. Nice position of the head, Robert. 5. So your palms are facing your sides. 7, 8. Good. Upright your spine. Bend the back knee. Yep. We're going to turn your palms to face back. You're going to lift the arms up, squat down, and stand up. So your weight's between your legs. Lengthen your low back a little bit, Roxanne, by hugging and lifting your baby. So you're stretching the back quad a little bit more. There you go. Yeah. So when you come up, you got to really push with the front leg more. There you go. Yeah. 6, 7, 8. Good. Bend the front leg and push off of it and step back. Woo. Big step forward on the other side. Long spine torpedo from your heel all the way out to the crown of your head. Palms are facing your sides. So you're going to do our heel raise and down. So my heel's not touching on the back. I'm focusing on the trajectory. So you're going on the forward diagonal. So you're opening your chest. We're working the backs of the shoulders by holding our arms in line with our back leg. 6, 7, 8. Good. Keep the heel lifted so you have weight over the ball of front foot. Lift the back arms slightly behind you. Bend the elbows and straighten triceps. 2, 3, good. 4, keeping the chest nice and open. 5, palms are facing your body, good. 6, 7, 8, bring the arms down. Bend the back knee, reach the back heel back and upright your body. So both legs are bent. Lower down, arms lift, and down. We should actually face our palms to the side, sorry, and reach out to the side. I think that'll be better. 3, so side front of you. 4, good. Woo. 5, good posture, Roxanne. And Robert. 6, good, everybody. 7, and 8. Good. Bend the front knee, push off of it. All right, let's set the weights aside. Grab your roller. Let's do our hamstring flossing. We skipped this last week. So standing, kneeling. Bring your right foot forward. And so this is a preparation for splits, everybody. You didn't know you wanted to do splits. So the roller, Roxanne, you can have the front leg slightly out to the side a little bit more. So that would look like this. So the roller would be in front of your center line. And then Roxanne, you can put your front foot more out to the side. So you're on a slight front angle. Okay, everyone else, try to stay as parallel as possible with the knee in front of the hip socket and keeping that hip dropping down. It's very common to want to feel this hip hiking up. So you really want to focus on letting that drop down, and that might make you feel like you're going to fall over. Wonderful, you're doing it right. That's why we're reaching our arms on top, pushing down, thumbs together so you can be symmetrical. So, taking your weight forward and coming up. Hinging back, reach the roller forward. Sit your sit bones back rather than lean forward. So you straighten your front knee, Robert. So, yeah, there you go. And then you hinge back. Horrible, hideous exercise. Pull yourself forward from your front heel and reach the roller forward. So you're going into your forward lunge. So bend your front knee and hinge forward. So we're going in between, and keep the hips up. So you're stretching the front of the pelvis. Sit up, straighten the front leg. So you can rock the roller towards you. Flex the front ankle. Hinge forward from the sit bones. Yes. And coming up. Keeping the chest lifted. Going forward. So the pelvis is going forward rather than the spine, Robert. Pelvis. So this is more like like an Eve's lunge on the reformer. Good. Hinging back, reaching forward. So we're reaching forward, and Roxanne, push down into the top of the roller and lift your chest up. So you don't get to, we're not going to go all the way forward like this. We're going to keep lifted because that's more challenging, I think. Coming up. Let's change sides. I think that's sufficient. Yeah, this will be good for me to see you, Monica. So, the nice thing about the rollers, it's super light, so you can move it around as you need to if you feel like you're not in the right position. So as you hinge forward, you're bringing your pelvis, the sacrum, forward. You're trying to keep your spine as upright as possible. You're hugging and lifting. So the spine is actually pretty neutral. Yeah. And you're really getting a stretch in the front of the hip. Yeah. We're sweating. Then you're going to straighten your front leg. The roller comes towards me because my arms aren't that long. Flex the front foot. That pushes me back even more. Then I sit my hips back and reach forward with a straight knee. If you can't straighten your knee, you're not going to go forward. You're just going to stay here. So straighten that front knee. You might have to kick that foot out in front of you a little bit more. And this is it. And then you're going to pull yourself forward. Pelvis rocks forward. Keeping the spine long and up. And straighten the front knee. Keep the pelvis really still. And Monica, bring the roller towards you so you can be more upright. Then straighten your front leg entirely. There you go. And now from here, if your leg is straight, then you can reach the roller forward and sit your hip bones back. Delightful. Coming up, 2 more times. Forward. Yeah, that's right, Robert, and up. And it's all about restraint with the upper body. And up and forward. And we're also taking away our lats as a tool of pulling down for posture, so that we have to use some of our other upper back muscles and our serratus to help us stay open to the top. Okie dokie. Let's do some swan sequence. So Roxanne, you'll be on all fours. Well, actually, you'll be in this triangle leg position, and we'll do our scapular glides here. So you'll start with the roller just below the elbow, and then you pull up this way. So we're trying to get extension in our upper back. Everyone's welcome to try that version, but I feel like the rest of us can lie down on our fronts. Open your legs slightly. So we'll do our scapular glides. We'll do 4 scapular glides here. Keeping the abdominal wall pulled in, inhaling, and exhale, pulling the shoulders down. Inhale, reaching overhead. Roller goes away from you. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the back. The bottom points of the shoulder blades are still wide to the side. They stay wide. The whole unit of the shoulder blade just slides down. One more time. Inhale, slide up. Exhale, slide down. Keep the shoulder blades wide and pulling down. Pull the roller towards you even more. Lift your bottom ribs up and your chest up, so you're doing an upper back bend. Good. And then going back down. Abdominal wall is pulling away from the floor. The hip bones are lightening. The pubic bone is staying connected. And down 2 more times. Up. And down. 1 more time. Up. And down. Good. Take your hands off of the roller. Keep it in front of you. Rest your forehead on the backs of your hands, which are stacked up. Open your knees to the side. Roxanne, you're on all fours with your hips up. And you're going to do a single leg lift with your knee bent. Everyone else, both heels are pulling towards your butt. And you're going to lift both legs up simultaneously and down. Right. So Robert, put your heels together and point them up to the ceiling. Roxanne, yeah. You're like this. You're doing one leg up and down. Exactly. Lift your back of your head up, Roxanne, and push through your shoulders. Lift your chest up. Okay, good. Yeah. Yes. Turn out your legs, Robert, into a V. There you go. And lift up and down. Up. Only 50 million more of these, meaning about 3. Roxanne, you'll change legs. Great. Robert and Monica, if you're doing okay with this, put your hands back on your roller. You're going to lift your legs and pull the roller in and go back down. Pull the roller in, lift the legs, and back down. So you have to, the goal is to get the thighs off the floor. If you come up, great. If not, with the roller, that's excessive, it's extra. Good. Roxanne, you even? Good. Okay, everyone push back. Stretch out your back. Coming up. All right, let's go into our side plank sequence. We don't need our roller. So, excuse me, I keep burping. Elbow side plank. On your shins. So the heels are behind your sit bones, and you have a slight forward angle. Your legs are squeezing together, and you're pushing through the forearm and the palm with the hand open and wide, lifting the waistline up. So instead of relaxing, slumber party time, where only Monica and I remember that because I think we did have slumber parties together. How fun. So push down into the whole forearm and hand. Lift your hips up. You can lift the other arm up to the ceiling and come down. So we're preparing the shoulder blade to stabilize us, keeping the top of the shoulder relaxed, using the side oblique muscles, lats. One more time. Up. Keeping the, roll the shoulders open a little bit, Roxanne, because you're rolling forward slightly. Then, you will stay on your elbow, straighten your legs are in line with you. Top leg turns out, externally rotated sole of the foot's on the floor. It doesn't have to be, I showed you like coming up so high. It can just be around the knee somewhere. Then you're gonna lift the bottom leg up, and down. I'm gonna hold the floor here because that's helpful, because we wanna keep lifting the side waistline. 4, 5, I'm pushing down with my top foot and my hand. 2 more will be 8, or maybe it'll be 9. Great. Point both feet. Bottom leg is parallel, where it can be comfortable. Top leg is turned out. The whole situation lifts up, so the hips hike up and down. 2, 3, 4, it's not big. 5, let's do one more. 6, and then tuck and roll to the other side. So forearm plank to help us set up. So the idea being that your arm's in a T, forearm is perpendicular to the edge of your mat, parallel to the edge of the mat, perpendicular to your body. There we go. And zipping up through the center line, lifting up. Good. And down. So making sure that both hips are stacked up, both shoulders are stacked up. It's very common to let this top shoulder relax down because you want to see what's happening. Really open that up. Good. Nice, Robert. Good, Monica. Good, Roxanne. Up and down. Straighten both legs. I'm readjusting my arms slightly because the legs are in line with the body. You want to feel comfortable. There's like I get this rolling thing. You want to get where you feel secure that your forearm's not going to roll once you push. So turn out the top leg, flex the bottom foot, lift up and down, up and down, up, 4, 5, lengthen your neck, Roxanne. You might want to come onto your side. 8, 9, 10, prenatal, lie on your side. Keep the top shoulder lifted up. Point both feet. Top foot is to the side of the knee. Good. And lift up and down. So you notice you want to sink into your shoulder when you do this. So you keep pressing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we did more than the other side. Oh well. Let's come on to all fours. Roxanne, just lie there and rest. Just lie there and rest. Or sit on your sofa and do a figure 4 stretch, Roxanne. Everyone else, you're gonna come onto your knees. Walk. If it's comfortable for you, I find it more comfortable to be more on my thighs this way. So you're walking yourself into a plank, walk yourself forward. You can flex your ankles, so you have to lower your hips forward. If that's not possible for you, keep your shins on the floor, Robert. This is more of how people usually do this exercise. Yeah, Monica, pull your bottom waistline in and your ribs in. The bottom parts of your ribs. There you go. And 4 push-ups. Down and up, 2 and up, 3 and up. Keep your glutes active. 4 and up. Hinge back, walk yourself back. Come into a squat. Roxanne, you can join us for this unless you're still stretching, stay stretching. And then stand up through the legs and bend. Heels on the floor. Straighten and bend. One more time. Straighten. Soft bend. Lengthen through the spine. So you have a long spine, abdominal wall is pulling up and in, and slowly stand up, hinging at the hips. And then we're going to walk forward and backwards. 4 steps forward and back. Forward. just to come back into the space, thinking very directionally and back rather than swaying side to side and back. Good, come to the center of the mat, and we are done. Thank you very much.